Good morning, Turfs Up Radio. Wayne Bowes, Profits Unlimited, coming to you live from Louisville, Kentucky. Yes, indeedy. Hope your week's going well. Wanted to talk a little bit today just about the weather that's going around, and I did not reach out to my buddies at BAM about hopping on, and I probably should have. But the reality of it is, it was good morning. Good morning, Seth. Appreciate you listening, my friend. Appreciate it. It's a good day to be a duck, Seth said. Absolutely. Flippers and snorkels. That's what it's going to take today to get out and do anything is flippers and snorkels. But we had some pretty good storms rolling. I'm not sure what time it was, but maybe, I don't know. Do y'all remember 5:30? Right now, we're in a little bit of a lull here. I don't know what it's like where you guys are at, but we're certainly not mowing any grass today. Probably not too many of us doing any type of mowing or out at all doing any type of work, reality wise. We did come into work today, and one of our panels from our back in our shop, I don't know, it's like, you know how they're rectangle panels about 2x6 or 2.5x6. One of those had come through, fell out of the ceiling during the wind. So I don't know if it's, you know how you hear things when the wind's blowing, you hear stuff cracking and popping and that whole thing. So we evidently had a little bit of movement in that, and that fell down on no damage. It's just a piece of drywall, but fell down on one of our trucks. Actually, one of our spray trucks that we had a lot of our stuff inside. We brought as much as we could inside with the hail and all that we were supposed to get the other night. We didn't get any hail, but I'll tell you what, they say potentially we might have some, I think either tonight or tomorrow night. I have to check with my buddies there at BAM. But yeah, weather's been pretty crazy to say the least. So, and we still got a few more days of it today and tomorrow, and Sunday it's supposed to chill out a little bit. No pun intended. It's going to get cooler, but the rain's going to stop. I think so far we're up to anywhere between 2 and 5 inches, they said locally, depending on where you're at. And they said maybe another 2 to 4 to come. So be a whole lot of catching up to do, a whole lot of wet lawns. And, some people be complaining about getting their yard mowed wet. And that's all right. It is what it is. So I'm sure we'll be doing a little wet mowing next week, but it'll be all right. That's all right. So more importantly, I hope your week this week's going good. I hope you're safe. Hope you made it through round 1 or 2 of the weather. We had a few tornadoes that actually touched down here in Louisville. I know that we weren't the minority on that, but went out yesterday because they had touched down in an area right around several of our clients. And luckily, we had a client right across the street from one building. I mean, this is not an exaggeration either. Within 100 yards, there's a building completely destroyed of them. And they didn't have any damage. And the building that's between them had a little bit of roof damage. But they were just on the fringe of that tornadoes that moved through this industrial park. And it was pretty crazy. And, rode out there yesterday just to see it. And which is, and I know better than that. That's the thing. There's nothing you hate worse as a first responder is gawkers, because especially, and that wasn't right after it happened. I know better than that. But this was probably 7 or 8 hours afterwards. But so they already had part of the streets closed down, so you didn't have to have that to deal with. But it was a pretty significant event, to say the least. And, people were going in there and carrying their computers out, actually. Daniel, that was one thing that I saw predominantly was people were carrying their computers out. Hopefully they had some type of cloud system where they were backed up on.
Yeah, probably so.
You would think at that level they would. And I think that's something, and that got me thinking about, all of us here on Turfs Up Radio that, have a computer system, and if you're running some type of software, and if you're running software, more likely than not, it is backed up into a cloud system. But if not, it's something certainly that you want to think about.
Or not
You-
just that, but what about your customer information if you're not, keeping things on paper? Or even if you are in that situation, heck, the paper probably got, destroyed. So your customer information that is maybe outside of your software, outside, like if you run a software that doesn't contain everything or whatever,
Right.
or if you have, just files on your computer or templates or whatever for marketing and advertising, like all that kind of stuff really, it may not sound like, oh, well, that only took me an hour to do, but if you have 100 things on your computer that only took you an hour to do, that's a lot of lost time that,
Especially this time of the year,
yeah.
that you're trying to catch up on. But, that the whole point of that is, think about having things backed up somewhere other than at your house. As crazy as that sounds, I know.
I have a few what are called external hard drives, and I took one with me, and kept one here. They're both have the same stuff on them, but
So
just
they're separated by
yeah,
12 miles, 10 miles. Yeah.
and it's a little, it looks like a big as a deck of cards, a little thinner, but as big as a deck of cards, and it's easy to just stash away in something and keep it
Yeah.
safe. So
Absolutely. So I think that's going to be maybe our main truth bomb today is weather wise, you know, and we'll, since the weather's the issue right now, but it could have other factors other than weather, but it could be fire. It could be a flood in your building or in your house or, whatever that could destroy that information one way or another, whether it's in a digital format, whatever it is. But, have things backed up on something. That is our truth bomb today. Be sure to have things backed up that you really want to have. Like Daniel said, I think that's a very important point, Daniel, is, your all the templates that you use, you know, uh, as a business, your contracts, your proposals, your customer letters, or just any template that your route sheets, for goodness sake, if you're,
yeah,
just regardless of what it is, have it backed up, have things backed up. And it's one of those things that it doesn't matter until it matters. And the importance of how important that stuff is, you don't appreciate it until you don't have it. Like Daniel said, if you say, what's no big deal? It only took me an hour to do it or whatever. When you got 100 things to do that take an hour, that's a whole lot of hours. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate that. Mike said, yeah, that's solid advice, and it's things we don't think about it until something happens, so it is what it is. Yeah, Mike, I was talking about my daughter being down your way today. Holly's down in Barron County. So let me know, what's it like down there, Mike? Is it thunderstorming still? Because it looked like you guys were having a little harder time with it than we were. So up here right now, anyway. So just curious. She's going to be down there, like I said, until about lunchtime. So um, be glad to hear when she gets headed back toward Lexington. So get all your little kids home. I know it's funny, in weather, and for you guys that got kids that are grown in a way, you can appreciate this. You still worry about them. So, anyways, Katie's with us. Hello, Katie.
Hi, everyone. I'm
So,
trying to rescue you from the weather conversation. I'm worrying about your kids.
yeah. Well, hey, I worry about y'all. I mean, you still do that, even though you're moved out, moved away, and got your own places and all that good stuff. You still think about it. And yeah. So,
Sounds like he needs to pick up a hobby. And then with this new hip, we can get him into pickleball, long distance walking,
yeah,
crafts of some kind, maybe. It's time to see where your hidden talents lie.
my hidden talents lie in.
You don't know that they're hidden. That's the point. You don't know yet. You got to try some new things.
Oh,
I feel like that's a good turning point. You're 60 plus. You have a new hip. It's a good opportunity for you to try new things.
absolutely. Let's do it.
I'd love to try ballet. I'm not going to be good at it. I'm not going to go like get paid
Why,
for
you
it.
got good rhythm.
But I think it would be fun to try, like learn
Daniel's
like
laughing.
actual ballet moves
Yeah.
or like tennis lessons.
Oh my
I'm not
God.
going to be the next Andre Agassi. Let's be so serious.
I was watching
But
Elspeth
it'd be fun
last
to
night,
not look like an idiot at the park
and
when you play.
she took a dance lesson in
See,
one of her
you
little
do
shows.
ballroom dancing.
Dun, dun.
Get your little shoes.
Salsa.
You ought to,
Do
if
some
y'all could
salsa.
see her.
Yeah.
She's dancing a little bit. Yeah, you got rhythm though. You know.
Well, guess what? Maybe you do.
No, I don't.
Maybe you can at least have some fun, even if you feel like an idiot.
Oh, I love to have fun, and I don't feel like
I would
an
pay.
idiot.
I would pay for your all's first lesson. You and Tabitha and Timmy and Robin at a ballroom dancing class. You sign up, and I'll go fund it.
So we don't have to set up a GoFundUs account.
No, I'll go fund you.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. But no, you're right. That is this kind of neat. Mike sent us a picture of a flooded area down there by him. He said heavy flooding in Bowling Green. That's it. Like I said, all the counties have got that going on. But anyways, coming back from it, we were talking. Well, you heard us talking about backing stuff up. You know, that's something you don't think about, though. You know, I mean, and I do. I just, and we'll move along to another topic because I got a couple other things I want to get y'all's input on today. But I just thought when I saw those people carrying, literally, they were carrying out like, you know, their desktops, not their desktop, but their
computers.
You know, their computers. Thinking you would think a company that size is on a. Excuse me.
And maybe
cloud.
some of their stuff is.
It probably
you know,
is.
like our
Maybe they just
QuickBooks
went
backed
back
up.
to get it as far as like, hey, it
Hasn't
we
been
don't have to
damaged
spend
yet.
another
Yeah.
$3,000 on
Yeah.
50 computers. Let's go get them or whatever.
Yeah,
they have in
now's when they find out how well their insurance agent they're careful. You know,
Yeah.
you've saved $2,000 or $5,000 or you know. We've had a guy hounding us about, man, I know you're paying too much, and I just gave him Brad's number. I said, here, call this guy here. He's our agent. You tell him what you can do different and better, and we'll go with that. And that wasn't being sarcastic. It's just, it ain't about saving money. These people out there that had their shit tore down, they ain't worried about insurance premiums at this point.
Right.
They're hoping that the premium they were paying is going to take care of the mess they're in.
Yeah.
You know, and again, that, you know, that's one of those things that it doesn't matter till it matters. And unfortunately, there's a whole lot of people out there and in all markets. My God, all you got to do is watch the news right now and what's happened the last few days across the Midwest, you know, and think, man, I should have probably paid $100 more.
I don't have much on auto pay, but insurance is one thing. All my insurance is on auto pay.
Yeah, you don't want to mess that
my
up.
life insurance, my car insurance. I don't like auto pay, but that is one thing I will auto pay till I die.
Yeah, that is a really good idea because I do have a reminder in my phone about my life insurance now. You know, because I don't want to forget it now. I mean, hell, I'm 30 years in. You know, I want y'all to get the benefit of it when I die.
Right.
You know, I mean, because my funeral and all that's paid for, so it'll be fun money. Have a big party.
Oh my God, I know what we can do when Dad dies. Okay. We'll raffle off mini urns to your listeners. If
Nobody's going to want it. Oh my God, he has lost.
If you want a piece of the profit, literally, probably a big toe, an elbow, the nose. We don't know what you're going to get, but you're going to get something that's going to be a nice professional urn.
Money green.
Yep, it's going to be money green. Maybe we'll even label it my piece of the profit. We don't know. You let us know if you're into that, and we'll start setting that up.
I'm a pretty good sized guy, so y'all could fill a lot of them little ones up.
Look, I'll tell you, it was a really interesting experience. So my sister and I actually pushed.
We're going off the rails.
This is Off the Rails Friday. Hi. My sister and I actually pushed our mom in her little big human-sized flower box, basically is what it was, into the incinerator, and we sang, "This girl is on fire."
God sakes.
So we'll do that for you too. We can have a push to profit.
Oh my God.
So someone gets to push you in, and then
you can play that song, Push It.
Oh God.
If we got to play anything, it's going to be the money song.
Yeah.
Or the one shot. If you had one
shot. Yeah, you got one chance literally to push the profit into the fire.
Mike said little urns?
Yeah, little urns.
Oh my God.
Urns. EARNS.
Yes.
Urns.
Oh my,
You decide if it's spelled URNS or EARNS. We'll let you decide.
Oh,
Earns
my
of the
God.
profit. Earning profit.
Earns of earns.
here it is.
Push him.
Push it in the fire.
Push him.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Oh,
look,
God.
he's already dead. So we at least need to have a little bit of fun, you know?
I think
When
that'd
that
be. I would
happens.
want y'all to have that much fun. I swear to God, I would.
And it actually is really cool. They were telling us down at Ratterman, like, they're
That's a funeral home.
yeah, the Ratterman
For you
Funeral Home
guys.
that we actually provide service to. But that Scott was there at the time,
Yeah.
and he kind of explained to us like the company that operates in the incinerator, they're there 24/7. Like if for some, not that someone's alive in there, but if something goes wrong, like they troubleshoot immediately. Like once the button gets pushed, like they're there until it's all over, and it's sucked into the urn.
Yeah. How weird? How not weird, but was it pretty cool?
Yeah, I
Thinking
mean,
you were
it's
part of
just-
that process.
It's just like on, a big like dishwasher conveyor belt thing.
Yeah.
It was like that. And we just pushed mom in the box.
Yeah. Huh.
So
Nice.
you might get a piece of the box. You might get a prophet's toe. We don't know. But if you want an urn of urns, let us know.
Yeah. True that. True that. I think that might be a good idea. What do you think, Daniel?
Yeah. Earn a little bit of the profit.
There you go. Oh, shoot.
Goodness gracious. Let's see. We got. Oh, good. Just got a text from Bluegrass. Yay.
Plus, then, like, my sister did get a small urn of my mom, and she would like sit her out when they watch the Pittsburgh Steelers and sit her out for different things. So you could take the profit with you to the GIE Expo or put them in on a paperweight at your desk. Travel around your truck with you.
Oh my
I
God.
mean, just the opportunities are
tinkering.
endless. Yeah.
This is getting really weird. I'm just saying. Okay. All right. Well, y'all can do that. I'll be fine with it, just so you know.
Well, you don't have a choice.
Yep. I'm just saying.
Once you're dead, we get to do whatever we want, really.
Mm.
Oh, shoot.
Oh God, y'all. I'm sorry y'all had to listen to this morning.
They're not. They had fun.
Okay.
If you didn't have fun, let us know.
Yeah, true that. True that. Hey, Mike brought in a more on a serious note too. Well, maybe y'all are serious.
Prepay
about
for your
this.
funeral?
No.
Oh.
He about the backup of your goods.
Oh, yeah.
And we actually have a show that goes back on this, no pun intended. A couple years ago when Kyle Adams, a friend of mine here in Louisville,
Mm-hmm.
passed away, died mowing a lawn where his lawnmower, flipped
Tipped
and-
over.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
killed him. We talked about this exact thing, but Mike said, he does keep his stuff backed up and in a safe. But his wife says, I don't know how we'll pay our mortgage if Mike dies, not because of money. He says, I don't know the logins to his
Yep.
passwords to his accounts.
Yep.
So that
At
is
a minimum,
something.
you need the login. Like, you need to set stuff up with one email, and they need your access to that email because then they can reset your password.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Having logins is very important, and like safety deposit box keys, stuff like that.
Figure out what you're good at and do it best.
Yeah.
There you go, Daniel. That's right. Figure out what you're good at and do it best. Absolutely. So, and we had a good comment on one of our YouTube videos where the video that Daniel put out that we did was, I was talking about, and this kind of goes to that, figure out what you do good. The video was talking about when we were a 2-truck operation here and doing, a good volume. We just weren't making any money. A gentleman said, yeah, it's important to know the break-even point, but you need to know how far you can push the market as well. And that is absolutely correct. And that's what I told him. I said, you're absolutely correct. But but what we need to do, each and every one of us, is to build that solid foundation. And then we can push it, if you will, based on the type of customers we want to service in our individual markets. But the basic foundation of your business is going to be to know your cost per hour of operation and, more importantly, your break even point. And I want to make it clear that none of us are happy working for break even money, but at least once we understand that and know where that break even point is, then we know we go to our existing customer base and say who's okay, who's not okay. And that's the peace of mind that you get by understanding cost per hour of operation. Then you go out and you sell to different clientele.
I'm looking forward to our next Profits Unlimited vlog to come out. Our what it's like to run a
Oh,
7-figure
yeah.
lawn business,
If you didn't watch the first one, go watch it.
and second one.
Oh, and second, which one
Yeah.
was the one that
That
y'all
was
were
the second
ragging on
one.
me? Okay, definitely go watch the second one then.
Yeah,
Well,
the one
because
that came out
Katie's
last Saturday.
features.
Yeah, they come out Saturday morning. So
Yeah.
Daniel
those out.
texted it all to us, and I was watching it, and I recorded part of it to send to my friends.
It is a very realistic
You could've
version
sent
of
them a
what
link
happens.
to the video.
I do
Yeah.
like that. That was a really good idea, Daniel, because it's the way you're doing it is a very realistic look. You know, it's not a, hey, we're doing this and we're going to be perfect for everybody look. You
Right.
know,
Yeah, it's a real behind the scenes. This is what we actually did this week. Good, bad, indifferent.
yeah, shit that goes
Yeah,
on.
Talk about
Our screw
losing
ups.
the customer that we had for 34 years and
Yeah.
Going to the wrong house.
going to the wrong house.
Go-
And
No. Yeah, that happens every once in a while. And if it hasn't happened to you yet, it will. It will. You know, someday as you either lose a little bit of focus when you're out on a route, or you give somebody a route to go do for you. But those are just little things that happen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it happens. I remember Cork one time mowed the wrong yard, and the lady paid him when he was
Well, that
done.
was nice.
Yeah. She said, well, hey, I ain't going to have to pay my other guy. So here.
My God.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Hopefully
So,
she remembered to tell the other guy not to come. Hey, we've had an accident. Somebody's already.
somebody
Now the
mowed our
question is, what are you doing as the other contractor?
nothing. You're frustrated, probably potentially, that you got jacked out of your money for the week.
So but if you're doing a per month billing, do you just redo the bill for that month?
I wouldn't redo it unless it was requested to redo it.
Yeah.
That's how we would handle it if I was handling it.
Or if they said something, okay, you've got a $50 account credit, then I can't change your bill, but you got a $50 account credit for
Yeah.
something else.
Well-
Kind of just depends. I feel like it would really depend on the situation and the person.
Yeah.
What you feel like would satisfy that person would be the key there.
Yeah, because you're not wanting to rob them,
Right.
but you're not wanting to go back and readjust an invoice and issue a credit and all
Yeah.
that menagerie that goes along with all that.
Mhm.
But that is a good question though. How would you handle it?
Might be worth just stopping by and saying, hey, it was mowed on a Monday. It's Thursday now. We're just gonna do what we can, and
Yeah, we're going to keep you on your regular schedule.
yeah.
That'd be that because
Sigma Steve.
Sigma Steve's going on. He don't even know it.
Hey, I just wanted to interject a little bit with your old conversation. I'm listening to you all live.
It
All
better
right.
be about what your expert category is.
Chemicals.
National parks.
National parks. I don't care. We'll discuss anything.
Well, go ahead. What do you want yours to be?
Well, so golly, that is difficult. Let's do fertilizers for $200.
What does the N in NPK stand for?
What is nitrogen?
There you go. Hey. And I
Then-
phrased that question wrong. I was supposed to phrase it as an answer.
Yeah. Sure.
You phrased your answer right. Good job. You phrased it as a question.
See,
So
I'm paying attention.
that's why I'm not the
Hey,
new Jeopardy host.
Hey, I just wanted
That's
to
fair.
interject because I'm listening to you all live about this situation when Court mowed the wrong yard.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I like your old philosophy of you all call it services, not mowing. Number one, could you all delay the service just like 1 week to say, okay, we'll take care of you one more week on the end of the season.
Mhm.
And two, you all work hard enough in the spring to maintain mowing. The customers win most of those times, I feel like.
Right.
So,
Right.
I would not feel bad about not adjusting the monthly invoice whatsoever.
How would you feel as a customer?
As a customer, knowing what I know now, I wouldn't feel bad at all. Again, knowing that you all are having double and triple cut, you're working more heavily in spring.
Right.
But I would say you got to educate me on why you wouldn't necessarily adjust it. Because it's extra wear and tear on your equipment to have to do it more frequently in spring.
Yeah. I got you. That's
just my thought of it.
well, yeah, and I mean a similar thing. I mean, is kind of what you and I talked about the other day with our granular pre-emergent, right? I mean, it'd be on the same
Right.
lines of, hey, we didn't use what we thought we were going to use, but we'll just leave it sit there as a credit.
Right.
So
you can do it. You can shift to other parts of your schedule.
yes, that's a good deal. So, what you got going on fun this weekend?
You know what? I'm hoping I can watch the Final Four this weekend. I'll get through the first game, and then about 5 minutes into the second game, I'll be knocked out on the couch.
Isn't that the worst? Oh my God.
Yeah,
I think that's the best. Actually.
It's like
to sit there.
it's a best worst situation for sure. You want to stay up and watch the next thing, but it's like, oh my God, I got to keep my eyes open with toothpicks.
That's right. So, and part of that is that doggone that second game doesn't start till 9 o'clock at night.
Daniel, should we all drink energy drinks about 3 p.m. tonight or what?
Probably I will have to if I wanted to stay up.
true that. Oh my God, Corey just sent us a funny text, y'all. It says, I cut the wrong property and sent photos to the wrong person.
Oh my
The
God.
client responded and said, that looks great, but when you get into mine,
Oh my God.
that's funny, Corey. Oh my God.
Oh God.
That could happen
But,
too.
That didn't mean to.
Well, hang on. Don't hang up yet. I got a serious question for you since
Okay.
we got you on the phone. First of all, I'm glad y'all got spared out there in Industrial Park. You guys good? Look,
We're good.
I saw
So
I saw out there on Ampere Drive was rough.
Yes, the storms missed us by about a mile. ATS was good. Unfortunately, I think it was Rats or Rate Spence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their building is just a total loss. It's just a pile of rubble.
Yeah. I saw that.
The Lexus,
ATS, they were like 100 yards from demolished. Did you see that?
yeah.
They were just
That's what I'm saying. They're a par 3 away from getting
a par 3 away.
from being destroyed. But thank goodness they weren't. That nothing was lost there.
Yeah.
The Lexus dealership out there, I mean, just metal poles ripped right in half out there.
Wow, that's insane.
It was crazy to
but,
say the least, man. I know.
But this is Wayne. This is kind of funny. So, and I don't think this company even would be aware of it. But anyways, my next door neighbor is an environmental contracting service,
Yeah.
and they have built it. I think you kind of know what my warehouse looks like, but I've got
Right.
a little office around it. Well, their facility is just a mirror image of what I have.
Okay.
And what they did is they built a little wood deck structure almost to go like a facade on top of the office, and they stored material up there, and it just happened to collapse the same night of the storm. And I thought it was maybe the winds had shaken the building enough, but
Yeah.
they admitted they're like, we might have had a little too much weight on that
Oh
thing.
my God.
Well, it'd be a good reason, good something to blame it on.
Right. But yes, apparently when the structure collapsed, it took down the fire, sprinkler system, and water was just going everywhere. Oh, it was
Oh my God, that's a hell of a mess. We had one of the panels fall out in our back shop. Like the sub roof or whatever, the lower part of the roof, onto a truck. So I was glad at that point that our motion detector requires both heat and motion. you know.
Okay.
Uh,
Right.
that was one thing we got good advice from the salesperson when they installed it 112 years ago. That he
Uh-huh.
said, "Man, don't put a regular motion detector back here. If something shifts back here," he says, "we'll use a heat. It requires heat and motion. So,
Right.
you
Right.
know, basically a
Well,
person."
they had 12 trucks over there, dumpsters over there yesterday when I got to the office.
We'd
So,
had our second false alarm. We had
yeah.
when Holly got married, we had a fire alarm malfunction here, and I get a call from the fire department, or Louisville Metro, and I pull up our
Right.
cameras, and the damn fire truck sitting out front here. It's 2 a.m, and I'm like, oh my God. I'm just, thank God they didn't come through the door. I mean,
Right.
we would have never done that. I remember my days on the fire department. If you got nothing showing, it's called, you don't
Right.
bust something out to get in, you
Right.
know?
Right.
But,
Right.
yeah, I'm like,
Well,
okay.
well, I can only imagine what's going through, the businesses that were affected, just dealing with insurance, because I'm dealing with insurance right now, and it is no fun whatsoever.
Yeah. Those people out there yesterday, man, I don't know if you heard the first part of our show, but I was talking about they were collecting up like their desktops,
Yeah.
when I walked out there, and we were talking about the importance of, regardless of the size of your company, whether you're mowing 40 yards a week or 4 million yards a week, you know, make sure you've got things backed up,
Yeah.
whether it's on a cloud system or, like Daniel said, he's got two. What was it, Daniel? Two.
External hard drives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Daniel's got like 2 external hard drives where he keeps our stuff or his stuff on that he does. And one was here and one he took home with him, So
Right.
it's
Right.
those things that doesn't matter till it matters. Speaking of that, I got a serious question to ask you about pre-emergent. Okay. All this rain.
Yep. Washing it away, possibly.
Yeah. Yeah. Where's all the contractors at in the Midwest? And everybody's had this 6 to 10 inches of rain over the last 4 days. Tell us a little bit about that.
I think that's a genuine concern, especially washing and leaching away your pre-emergent. Because, I mean, it's, the water affects it, the microbes in the soil affect it, anything that we do ourselves as homeowners or businesses to disturb the soil will affect it. So I would say this: if you're a contractor that only plans for one app, and you've experienced these heavy amounts of rain, and who knows what else is coming this spring, I would definitely, you might want to plan a second app, of whether it's for Diming, Dimension, Ronstar for the Southern guys, whatever it is. You might want to plan a second insurance policy, as I call it.
Yeah. Now, do you think, when you say plan for it, let's look at a customer's perspective.
Uh-huh.
How would you do it as a business? Would you present it to the customer of, hey, we've had 8 inches of rain?
I think.
Do you open the bag of worms that says more than likely you're going to have crabgrass problems, or do you leave that bag closed and say, hey, we've had a lot of rain. Would you like an additional application for crabgrass? But there would be a charge. Because that's the most expensive thing we do, right? I mean,
sure, correct.
I mean, you're
correct.
That application,
I would say this. I come with the policy of, let me just spill it to you. Let me just give you the truth, okay? We've had multiple big rainstorms, amounts of rain. I'm very worried about breakthrough, the pre-emergent just not holding up as long as we planned for. You can either tackle this two ways. We can give you another application, and it's going to be X cost above, normal program cost. Okay.
Yeah.
Or we can come out and we can do more post-emergent apps. Okay. Over and above your 6 or 7 regular planned apps for the year, we can throw in as needed.
Right. That might
what
be
do you want to do?
that might be a better way of handling that.
Right. Because until you know you have the problem, it's not a problem.
And if you bring it up as a potential problem, you might be opening yourself up to a lot of phone calls that wouldn't have been problems otherwise.
Correct.
What do you think, Catherine?
Yeah, I think that's
I think
a good
that's a
idea.
good point. Rather than bring it up, it's kind of like when you switch over to using contracts. Don't call everybody, send them out, and
Right.
respond to the questions. You
Right.
know?
But
Yeah.
don't, I would say this too. Don't run away from those fires that are going to come up. Run to them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. Because I mean, something else we got to think about as a business is, and so much can be put down in a year,
Correct.
right? So I mean, if we're restricted to say 1.5 pounds of prodiamine, and we've already put down 1.25 pounds, legally we
Right.
can't go make another application.
Right.
Right.
Well, I mean, you could, but you're going to have to figure out that extra quarter pound. How are you going to apply it?
How we?
You can't-
Yeah.
You know,
So we either
your
gotta
spread rate's
switch
on
products.
fertilizer. Correct.
Or leave this dog lie and do it as a post-emergent application later on.
Correct.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't. It seems like every year we have a big rain event, though. If you could just,
Most definitely.
if you could time it afterwards, like, okay, we ain't gonna do shit on pre-emergent till we have our big rain event. Just start out
Right.
spraying broadleaf weed control. It's the least expensive thing you put out. Leave your pre-emergent the most expensive thing you put out after
Right.
the fact.
Right.
And I don't know.
The only thing with that, Wayne, is you're probably gonna at some point in the spring season you're gonna have a big event like this, rain event like this.
Yeah.
When's it going to occur, and how late is too late before you put out that pre-emergent?
I don't know. You tell us. You're the chemical expert.
I think when you look at historical averages for what we're seeing, especially in Louisville,
Yep.
okay, I don't think it hurts sometimes to extend on out, especially like with this winter we've had, to say, let's gamble a little bit instead of maybe February 14th, Valentine's Day. Why don't we push it a little further? Because we had some cold temps in February.
Yeah.
We had some snow events in February. So does that buy you another week or two before you really need to start, doing what you do?
I got an idea.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's go to being a snow only company, and then we don't have to worry about all this penny ante bullshit with pendimethalin.
But focus on what you like, right?
What do you think? Think
Right.
we could do that? You want to go into snow and ice management business with us?
Do I want to go? No,
Yeah.
I'm good.
Oh, okay. I meant.
I'm good. I'll stick to my chemistry.
Well, wait. There's plenty of Katie, tell him.
Hashtag science.
There's lots of science and math and that goes along in snow and ice management.
Arguably less. He's not wrong. Arguably less, but yes.
For what?
The volume of math and science required for spraying is much higher than for
Yeah.
snow and ice management.
Okay.
Hey,
But
I
it's
love-
not
I love when
non-existent.
we get the. Yeah, I love that. We can still do the snow and ice. Personally, Wayne, I just see it as you never know you're going to get it. At least with wheat and
Is it
fur,
coffee today?
that can be a recurring revenue source for you
Right.
every year.
Right.
That's
I
just
know.
my opinion of it.
I was just joking. You couldn't. It'd
I
be
know.
a tough nut in our market. But I do know a guy very well in St. Louis that does it.
Daniel's
Right.
getting his NCAA.
I got
fuel
another
in.
guy in St. Louis, and they do it in a big time way.
Oh, I'm sure.
And I think that
Yeah,
they're working currently
correct.
with about 130 subcontractors out there, and
Oh, wow.
they do a lot. They got a lot of one truck operations, man. That work for
Right.
them, 1 and 2 truck
Right.
operations, and I'm just here to tell you, man, it's not a bad business model.
Sure.
It's not a bad business model at all. Garen Gruner's the one got me convinced on subcontractors.
To let them, right. To
Yeah.
help you out that way. Yeah.
Hell yeah. I mean, it's a lot less headache. You know,
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
Depends
hell,
on how you word the
I mean,
contract.
you know, I mean, I mean, when I looked at it, here's something for you guys to think about that are out there listening to this. You know, you think about scaling and it feels you good. It makes you feel real fuzzy to buy another truck and buy another trailer and buy all this stuff we got to do the job. But the reality of it is, why?
Right. Let someone else take that
Yeah,
risk for
let
you.
somebody else,
Right.
you know, let them do what they like doing. You know,
Right.
because at the end
Right.
of the day, the only thing that matters is what's left over, regardless of
Exactly.
who's doing it. You know, and I mean, Darren, you look at Darren, I mean, that boy, he doesn't even own a truck. He don't own a shovel, and he's doing, you know, whatever volume he's doing down there. I'm not
Right.
at liberty to talk for somebody else, but you know, I mean, he's doing quite a bit. I mean, you know, I mean,
Right.
you know, a job for him's normally a whole background situation or a backyard situation. You know,
Right.
so what do you think, Catherine?
Yeah.
Daniel, what's y'all's 2 cents on that?
Yeah, I think do what you're good at, and it
Let-
just goes back to like what you talk about, just on a different scale within your own business, right? Like get a CPA and get a lawyer and get a whatever. Like they're good at what they do, and it's just doing it on a grander scale when you
Yeah.
let somebody handle the
I mean, look
service.
at it on a huge scale. Look at Amazon. Look at how many
Yeah.
private drivers they use now.
Yep.
They stopped buying trucks, you know.
Yeah. Well, that's, I mean,
Right.
Amazon as a whole is just a marketplace too, right? Like it's
Yeah.
you just like you're just borrowing and utilizing their software and their storefront, taking part of the money.
It's crazy.
Or as I love to say, Dad, do you know where I'm going with this?
What's that?
As I love to say,
What do you say?
you do you, boo.
Oh, yeah. Damn. Yeah, you do you, boo. Yeah, that's the other day I was talking to Katie about something else. I know what you're going to say to this before I even tell you, but yeah. Yeah, that is true. But pre-emergent wise, I think Stephen, I'm gonna take that advice, man. We're just gonna let that dog lie, man.
Yeah. Let it lie until it becomes a problem, and then run to the fire.
Chad's
Yeah.
got a drill. He's gonna come drill somebody.
Somebody's getting a new tooth hole. He's checking the specs on the inline for the rotary girders.
Yeah, ain't that the lie?
Yeah, they were
God
talking about
almighty.
1923 the other day, Stephen. I don't know if you watched that or not. It's like a prequel, I think, to
Yellowstone.
Yellowstone, and somebody was basically getting a lobotomy with like a hand crank drill.
Oh,
Oh
God.
my God!
So
Talk about equipment coming a long way.
hashtag science.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, Stephen, thanks for calling us, buddy.
Man, I appreciate it. I know you don't get a whole lot of live callers, so instead
No,
of texting, I figured I'd call you.
absolutely. What you got going today? Anything fun?
Well, I just
What does a chemical sales rep do on a flooded Friday?
I'm going to tell you this. So I told you I was dealing with insurance.
Yeah.
I've been dealing with trying to get body shop estimates and
Oh, with your
yeah,
truck.
rental vehicles. Yeah, get vehicles set up, rental vehicles set up, and it's just the stuff that you can't do when it's ideal sales sales weather.
Yeah.
Damn, Stephen, did you hear that wherever you're at, or was that just over here in Butte?
No, I did not. I did not.
It was a big old thunder roll.
The thunder
Well,
rolls and the
I am
lightning
down in,
strikes. Bah, bah.
I am down in Butchertown, so it's
Oh, are you?
pouring down here, but no thunder or no light right now.
This is also a good reminder too. I think you talked last week, Wayne, about getting our gear in. Get some rain jackets. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you're not working in this. Don't get me wrong, but like light drizzle, light rain. You
Yeah.
know, get some branded rain jackets and
Yeah.
do what you can. Stay out there, stay warm,
Those
stay
ones-
dry.
Those ones we got from Gimpler's were pretty nice,
hmm
actually. They were.
And your employees appreciate that,
Right.
And they were
Or they should.
breathable.
right?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Right.
and that's
I've had too many.
Go-
I've had too many employers, especially on the golf side, that never got a rain suit, but still had to go out and
yeah,
go out and do it in the rain. So
right. And if you
be appreciative of what you have.
And if you get it, if you're going to get it for your employees, and for yourself especially, but especially for your employees, get something that's of quality. You know,
Yeah.
don't just get a rain jacket to get a rain jacket. But like you said, Steven, get something that's functional. You can go out there and still do the job with, like, breathable.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, that you're not going to
Because a lot of times you can
wet.
buy the cheap rain gear, but my God, you roast in it.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
even
you roast in it. It may not last as long as the good quality,
yeah,
rain suit. So you spend more in the long run, really.
yeah,
Right. Replacing it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Hey, when you were in a golf, you got a minute? I got.
We might lose connection. The TV just lost Wi-Fi.
Oh no, what's on our other Wi-Fi?
Oh, okay, good.
We got 2 Wi-Fi's in the office, just so you
We
all know.
talked about
Okay.
backing things up.
Talk about backing things up. Yeah, we pay for 2. Oh,
For real.
so yeah, our TV's spinning right now. So, and that's why
Okay.
we got off of AT&T, because it used to spin a lot. You know, so we got Spectrum
Right.
to run our main stuff here, and then we
Okay.
have
Kyle's got the specs on the inline right there.
yes. Oh yeah, those are our air trackers. Da, 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 da.
Yeah, we're air tagging. We're trying out some air tags, Steven, for some
For
stuff
all of
in
our
the office.
for all of our
so it's not a
truck
scavenger
keys.
hunt.
you know, like if for some reason a key doesn't get back on the hook it's supposed to be on,
Right. Right.
we're going to put air tags on all of our key rings.
Okay.
So
I think that's a smart idea.
yeah, I mean, it's like the other day we went on a scavenger hunt. Well, Monday,
And it was April Fool's.
and it
which
was April Fool's. So we're like, "Are you joking, man?" He's
Right.
and it was sitting by the garage door where it bent. Actually, we talked about it on my show. Chad had bent over to pick a grass catcher up, and when he did, the key for the truck came out of his hoodie pocket.
Right.
It fell right there on the ground by the garage door. But we're all, we're looking for the truck key.
Right.
So you never
Hey,
know.
technology is a great thing sometimes, in
know.
this situation.
So I don't know how accurate those air tags are, how close they take you to something, but
I'm going to
Sure.
tell you this:
Pretty
we
close.
we bought Madison an air tag so she could start
Madison?
going up to the park.
did you put a tracker on her?
Yeah.
Kyle put one in the
did
girls'
that on-
shoes when they went
Kyle
to
did that on their
vacation.
vacation.
Yeah, and it's pretty accurate. We can pull it up. Katie can pull it up on her phone and just say, "Oh, she's," and it'll show her she's on the playground or she's in the grassy area.
Did you implant it in her arm, or did you? Where'd you put it?
I didn't implant it on her.
Is that Pfizer?
We've got it's basically like a wristband, a watch wristband.
Oh, okay.
And she just puts it on when she goes up to the park, and that way, she wants to be a little independent, and
That's a really good idea.
so, and of course, we don't live far from the park anyway. So if there was an emergency,
Yeah, that's a
we could
really
get there
good
pretty
idea.
quick.
That is honestly a good idea. Yeah,
so
yeah. When Pfizer put my tracker in my arm when I got my COVID shot,
you're right.
it still itches like every day. I can rub on it and it feels good. They didn't get it quite
Right.
deep enough.
Maybe they accidentally injected you with some dog DNA or something.
Yeah,
So
could have happened. All right. Well, we'll let you go. We know you got plenty to do today. We're just sitting around here having fun on Turf's Up Radio on a Fun Fact Friday and a Fall Off the Air Friday and get back
Flooded
on
Friday.
Flooded Friday.
Flooded Friday.
The F's.
All the F's.
so real quick before I let
Fish
you all
Fry
go,
Friday.
so I heard you all were talking about the floor when I originally got the show on.
Yeah.
All right. Here's a question for everyone that's listening. Okay. Can you name at least 3 Division I schools where the mascot name does not end in the letter S,
As in Sam.
Like Wildcats.
Stanford Cardinal.
like Wildcat?
Syracuse
Can you name
Orange.
3? That's one.
Is everyone impressed? Please, someone give me credit.
Yay.
Stanford Cardinal.
Good job, Catherine.
That's 2.
And
Kyle, what are the hips? What was theirs?
what's a school that doesn't end their logo or their mascot doesn't end in S?
What's that, North Carolina?
Tar
They're the
Heels.
Tar Heels.
Tar Heels, yeah.
Come on, somebody. 502-550-8307.
He says he just said name 3.
Steven, give him the question again.
What are the Division One schools where the mascot does not end in the letter S? So, for example, the Stanford Cardinal, and there's several of them.
All right.
Yeah, Kyle knows he knows it. He's just trying to rack his brain for the right.
Now
filing
he's
cabinet.
Googling it, so we're not going to take his answers. Yeah. Do it.
I believe
See how
there's
many
like
there are.
seven.
Yeah, that's what Kyle said. He thought there was 7 or 8. So we've got 2: the Syracuse Cardinal and the
No,
Syracuse
Syracuse Orange.
Orange and the Stanford Cardinal.
Huh.
Illinois Fighting Illini.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, is Lana in an S though?
I don't know.
Because silent
it's
S's and
Illini.
stuff. Okay, perfect. There's 3.
Come on. I know we got some smart listeners out there.
This is kind of hard.
Come
I
on,
can think of
Seth,
3
if you're
more.
still listening.
I know of 3 more off the top of my head.
Give us a hint. Like what conference are
No,
they in?
don't.
No, that's too easy.
Kyle said Tulane Green Wave.
That's one.
That's one.
God.
There's another big school in a big conference.
Big school and a big conference, he said. There's another big school and a big conference.
Ooh,
That's
Crimson
somewhat
Tide.
close to it.
Up Crimson Tide, Daniel said.
That's one.
Was that the one you were thinking of?
That was not the one I was thinking of.
Oh,
though.
okay. So that clue's still in play.
Gosh, this is challenging getting everybody thinking on Friday. Let's see. I'm not even good at this.
He said it's semi-close to us, too.
All right, let's go. What's
Ooh,
Pennsylvania?
Fighting Irish.
Yeah, there you go, Daniel. Good
Fighting
job.
Irish. That's the one I was thinking of.
That's the
Dang.
one he was thinking of, though.
He didn't say football.
Golly. That's pretty good. If you roll around Michigan's Wolverines and Spartans.
Spartans, yeah, they're not it.
So there's what, 2 more? 1 or 2 more?
There's
Yeah.
at least 1 or 2 more.
Gosh. Trying to think what Hawaii is.
The rainbow.
Are they really the Rainbows?
No, they're the Warriors now.
Oh, they're the Warriors now. That's a big switch
They're
up.
the Warriors now. I guess rainbows was offensive.
I don't
to
think it's
somebody.
offensive, but
Well, it could have
I
been.
almost think it would be the other way around.
The Warriors.
There's
Oh,
2
they're
more
the
schools
Rainbow
that I know of.
Warriors.
Gosh, he said there's 2 more.
2 more.
That I know of.
Give us another clue, Steve Ann.
Let's see here. Military.
Oh,
Navy?
Midshipman.
Navy midshipman's one. The other
Air
school.
Force Falcons.
Think about rain. Think about rain. Think about weather.
Think about rain.
Storm. Is someone the Storm?
Well, now you got
St.
me
John's
St.
Red
John.
Storm, Kyle said.
St. John's.
That
Red
came to my
Storm.
head, but I thought they were
Dun,
something else.
dun, dun.
Nice.
Windy morning dew.
Wow.
The
Well,
other one that I was thinking of is the Tulsa Golden Hurricane.
The Tulsa Golden Hurricane.
Tulsa. Are they Division One or are they like a high
Yep.
school?
No, they're Division One out in Oklahoma.
I'll be
Oklahoma
damned.
Hurricane. See that?
Somebody's messed that one up.
Somebody's smoking or eating
was-
an edible on that one.
Tornadoes was already taken.
Tornado. Yeah.
Tornadoes, twisters, alleys.
Oh my God. He's got some good
How many
trivia.
was that?
I think
Was
that
that
was
10 at
that
least?
was somewhere.
I don't know.
8 or 9.
Yeah.
For sure.
That was really good.
That was a good thinker question. Getting
That's why
all of
we
our
like
brains
Sigma
going.
Steve. You know, he does a good job for us. You know, he's both entertaining and educational.
True that.
Entertaintional and edutainment.
Edutainment.
Edutainment. How was it out your all's way by your house the other night? Were y'all okay out that way?
No. Yeah, we were good. Of course, Madison was a nervous wreck, but just trying to explain to her, the damage it's down the road. We're good. But yeah, I mean, we just had a very few, limbs come out of the trees. No big damage. We'll probably have someone come out and look at the roof just as as a precaution. So, but
Huh.
all is good in the West household.
Good deal. Good deal. Yeah, I think everything was good for all of us too around this way. So
Good. Good.
yeah, we're very fortunate. Other than the ceiling tile in the back that fell down that I was telling you about.
And that's minor, right?
Yeah, that.
That's
Oh
very
yeah,
minor.
I ain't even going to worry about that.
So, but it always could be worse.
Oh,
always
absolutely. I'm
could
not
be
even
worse.
complaining about that for real.
I mean, I'm
Yeah.
just thinking about all these people, especially on the Ohio River that live along the Ohio. Could you imagine just dealing with that every year?
No, not at all.
Possible floods and
No.
knowing what's in the Ohio. Ugh, that's awful.
Right. Yeah. That is crazy, isn't it?
So,
Yeah. Yeah. I saw where some of the restaurants along there, the Captain's Quarters and a couple other ones the other day were
Right.
having their people. I think Monday was their last day open, and then they were had a semi coming in that they were loading their stuff, their chairs and stuff into.
Right.
So I don't know, man. But
Anyway,
all right. Well, hey, you have a good one. It's
Wayne, have a wonderful weekend.
you too. You too. We're going to have a rainy day around here.
It is going to be. It's a very rainy day.
That was Tabitha, if you're listening. Sorry. That's what she always tells me when it's raining. She says, have a great rainy
goodness.
day. So,
Oh,
any Hoosers. All right. Well, thanks for calling us, Steve.
hey, thank you, Wayne. We'll
Bud.
talk to you all, I'm sure, sometime next week.
All right, buddy. We'll see you. Have a good
All
one.
right.
Stay safe.
Have a
Stay
good
safe this weekend with the
Thank you.
storms.
You all do. Yes, you all do the same.
All right. Bye.
Very good.
All righty. That was the world famous Steven with Sigma Organics calling in, giving us some valid advice there for sure on the pre-emerge. And I think that's something that a lot of us are going to have to think about in all of our markets too, for real. And I think that's solid advice is not to address it and leave it a go and address it with a post-emergent later. What do you think, Daniel?
Yeah, I think most
Thinking
people,
out loud, but
I just think most people are more aware of something like in a certain situation more than they are at all times.
right.
So even if they have a little bit of a problem, if it's not directly correlated to when they're used to having it, it's probably going to go right over their head.
Yeah. You know something, Katie, too, if you want to make a note of this, I think this is a marketing opportunity for us in August for seeding. You know, hey, remember all the rain we had, back in the spring. If you want to increase turf density, if you had any crabgrass problems and want to increase turf density, kind of let us know kind of thing. I don't know. We'll discuss that. We're just throwing darts right now, but I think we'll try to make some lemonade out of the lemon right now and see what's going on with that. So, but anyways, we're going to hop off here. You guys have a great weekend. Appreciate all your input for sure. And I look forward to you guys staying safe all weekend as well. And I appreciate you listening. Sorry we had our glitch early on. We didn't realize because my monitor here on the computer said we were rolling and doing okay. And we weren't. So, but anyways, hey, like we always say, technology is a great thing when it works, but every once in a while it lets us down. But anyways, if that's the worst thing that happens to any of us today, that's a great day. And I did just get a text from Holly that said, oh, just want to let you know, made it safely. Everything's going good down here. So appreciate that, Holly. And you guys have a great weekend. And remember, profit is not a dirty word.